Yeah, I'll give you an update. I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all, okay? We're in the middle of talking, and he's shooting rockets into Kiev and other cities. I don't like it at all.
Mr. President, what do you want to do about that?
I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. We'll see what we're going to do. What am I going to tell you? You're the fake news, aren't you? You're totally fake. All right, any other questions? I don't like what Putin is doing, not even a little bit. He's killing people. And something happened to this guy, and I don't like it.
President Trump turning up the heat on Vladimir Putin this morning. Let's take a live look at the White House together. The president lashing out at the Kremlin for not working on a ceasefire deal with Ukraine. Then taking to Truth Social, where he says Vladimir Putin is playing with fire and says bad things would have already happened to Russia if it weren't for him. News Nation's Robert Sherman has the latest from the White House. Robert, good morning to you. Is the president putting the pressure on Putin with more than just words?
Yeah, doors certainly open for that, Markey. With this morning, we're watching as the White House ups its pressure on Russia, saying President Putin is playing with fire for not coming full bore to the negotiating table. But the deputy chief of Russia's Security Council coming out with an ominous response to Washington, writing, quote, regarding Trump's words about Putin playing with fire and really bad things happening to Russia, I only know of one really bad thing, World War III. I hope Trump understands this. This back and forth coming just days after President Trump called the Russian president, quote unquote, absolutely crazy. And as Russia continues to up its strikes on Ukrainian territory, the leadership in Kiev estimating over 900 drones have been launched by Russia in a 3-day span. As our own Kelly Meyer has confirmed the president is weighing if and how to hit back at Russia, namely in the form of new sanctions. What the White House tells News Nation are very much so on the table. The Russians insisting they do intend to work towards a peace agreement, putting the blame on Europe for pushing Ukraine deeper into war and once again chalking the president's comments up to emotion. Markey?
It's been fascinating to watch this all play out, this beef so publicly right now. Robert, has there been any progress in new ceasefire talks between Russia and Ukraine?
Well, Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister, says that a new round of talks is going to be announced soon, although we're still waiting on the formal details of that. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has floated the ideas of places such as Vatican City or Switzerland as possible neutral venues in order to have those conversations there, as he keeps a very close and watchful eye on his border, where he fears that Russian troop amassments are taking place. And he also fears that Russia could be upping its pressure on Ukraine soon. It's also worth noting just a short while ago, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky arrived in Germany to have conversations with Chancellor Friedrich Merz. Friedrich Merz has come under fire for comments that he made this week about releasing any restrictions on long-range capabilities for Ukrainian weapons, which would effectively give Ukraine the ability in order to strike Russian targets deeper inside of Russian territory. The Ukrainian delegation says that they're hoping to have conversations about ending the war with the Germans. Markey?
Reading out of the book of Revelation, chapter 18, 9 and verse 10. And it reads, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall beware her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Revelation chapter 18, 15, and 19. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand far off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones, and pearls. Verse 17, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster, and all the company of ships and sailors, and as many as trade, by a sea stood afar off, and they cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city where it made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she made desolate. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashem Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Rahar Rakakodash. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep of the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness, sincerity. Again, I'm going to say shalom. Shibata Yawasab coming at you for another video. And this one should be pretty short. It's a lot of breaking news. Okay, you had the United States President Donald Trump basically calling out Vladimir Putin. Okay, I don't think he was bluffing. You know, sometimes he kind of shoot off the hip, but when you look at the video post, you be the judge, and you got to consider the history. Okay, when the war with Ukraine started, okay, America and NATO tried to aid the Ukrainian leader, Zelensky. And what happened in that current conflict? The Ukrainians were destroyed, and technically America was taking a big hit, okay? And it's proven because of the BRICS, America isn't strong anymore. NATO is weak, and now you have the United States president calling out Putin to war. And on top of that, okay, you have Germany. I believe they gave Zelensky missiles to strike into Russia. Okay, this is the recipe for total disaster. And you know what? I'm praying it's made manifest. Okay, these are growing pains of that coming judgment, and it's coming faster than I can comprehend. Any of us of the elect that's praying to get out of here, it's coming at warp speed. And just looking at the video post and what Donald Trump is saying about Russia, there ain't gonna be no agreements. There ain't gonna be no peace talks. It's just gonna be total judgment. Right? And it's a warning. It's not really a warning for the elect. It's really a warning for people that's, you know, looking for answers. It's also for people that don't believe but want to scoff and mock Israelites, okay? Israelite camps, you know, the true believers putting their lives on the line, warning of this coming judgment. Okay, y'all stop Israel. I don't do these videos just to do them. I pray I'm chosen. Okay, excuse me. I'm hoping to get that new covenant, Hebrews 8 and 8:11, which we are not in. But that's some serious war talk from your U.S. president to Vladimir Putin. Okay, show me evidence that America has been successful helping Ukraine. It's not there. And it gets worse. This whole setup after World War II, it's common sense at this point. No peace on the earth. They're at war. They're threatening to hit Iran, and that could also set off this great judgment. Okay, so the time is thinning. If you're new to the knowledge of this truth, keep the commandments. That's all I have to tell you. You can see this thing is getting very serious. All types of famine, plagues, ABC strands. I said that in the last video of C-19 and all these things resurfacing, it's because the Lord's about to bring in the judgment, right? This judgment day, okay, the doomsday for the wicked, it's approaching. That's some very heavy words coming from Donald Trump to Putin. That's all I can tell y'all, right? And you think about that situation with the Israelis and Palestine, okay, that's not working out for them. You can't visit Israel right now. You can't do a Holy Land tour anymore. It's shut down. A lot of them are fleeing to parts of Europe, okay, America chiefly, Latin America, Canada, because that's a damn war zone. Slovakia for the language. Okay? And the world is at war, as you can see. But, you know, that's the whole point of this segment. The United States president is calling out Putin, threatening world war. See, the video post speaks for itself. Here in the States, people worried about the NBA Finals, baseball, NFL build-up, and this war is here. Before I go into the scriptures, the whole air traffic control issue, that's a media cover. America airports are being hacked every damn day, man. Okay, and one thing these wicked kings of the earth, they love to keep the people asleep. And this war is underway. It's proxy. It had gotten out of control. But if America couldn't deal with helping Ukraine fight Russia, and now Germany's handing Ukraine missiles to hit Moscow and other parts of Russia, what you think's going to happen? I'm going to tell y'all what's going to happen. Russia's going to attack NATO next, and it's imminent. And once these places are hit, America's going to go into total chaos. And martial law won't save this place. The judgment day is approaching. That's all I can tell y'all. Keep these commandments and just brace for these harder judgments. And saying that, we're going to get some scriptures. I'm going to wind this video down, but I want to make this stark warning. That's very serious. And the media downplaying it, but something serious is coming, and it's the judgment day of this wicked kingdom. Okay? Let's stay in Revelations, the 18th chapter. Well, this last verse out of Revelation 18. Let's get the classic. Revelations chapter 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. She shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judged her. Y'all see the image in the back. Okay. I put that there for a reason. It's to show the world what's to come. America have to be judged for chiefly what they're continuing to do to the Israelites scattered abroad and here in the States. But they're going to be judged for basically trying to destroy the Most High's creation. Okay? That's some serious talk from the president to Vladimir Putin. And it's a war America won't win. Right? Give me one moment, y'all. Sorry about that. Let's get some more scriptures. Actually, let me read that again. Revelation chapter 18 and 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judged her. Okay. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is coming to destroy America. Okay. That's the end all be all. Let's get that, and let's try Isaiah. Let's see if it's Isaiah 34. I'm going to wind this video down. Okay. But, y'all got to let me know how y'all feel about, Trump calling out Putin. It's pretty serious. Okay. It's just two parts of our people. They so dialed into this so-called American life, they're not considering America's about to be destroyed and judged. Okay. Isaiah 34 and let me see. Yeah, America's going to get blown off the map. But the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, by way of his son, Hamashiach Yahushai, he's coming to destroy the wicked Israelites and the children of Edom. Okay? Isaiah 34 and verse 2, and it reads, for the indignation of the Most High is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter. That's future prophecy. The Son of Man is coming to chiefly wipe out the wicked. Okay? Like I said, wicked Hebrew Israelites and the children of Edom. Okay? Jump down to verse 4. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's the image in the back there. Okay. And all the hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off the vine, and as falling fig from, the fig tree. This is the point. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. That's the children of Edom. Okay, that's your ruling class, your elite powers that be. Okay, Congress. Okay, the highest class of people there is that rule this earth in wickedness. He's coming to shut them down. Okay, your elite families, all these so-called kings of the earth, he's coming to bring judgment. Right? Verse 6. The sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, the fat of kidneys and rams. For the Lord had a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. That's future context. It's talking about America. Okay? America and all the places where, the wicked, dwell. He's coming to bring the judgment. Okay, and this is close. This ain't some far-fetched thing. This is going to happen very, very soon. Y'all see the decline and fall of America. Y'all think this place coming back? Are you serious? It's over for America. I'm telling y'all straight. Especially racism, white supremacists. This place is done. Okay. There was a post of a video, on Dr. Rashad's Richie's channel, Undisputed. Okay, I won't post it because I don't want copyright issues. Yeah, the damn Ku Klux Klan marching in Kansas City. And to what avail? Lying about history, talking about this is their great land. And this is the spirit of so-called white people. Okay? And when I say so-called white people, they're the ruling class, but Esau mixed in with all the people as well. So you have Edomites that's going to look like brown people, Asians, Indians, you name it. Okay? That's the class of people that's going to be destroyed. But we know the chief class is Edom, but, you study the Genesis 33 on down accounts, he mixed in with the nations as well. And they're going to be judged. Okay? We're going to end it in Malachi. Let's see if I can get the book of Malachi real quick. But again, family, just tell me what y'all think. I wouldn't take that for granted, that strike at Putin. I think something very serious is going to follow. Again, there is no recovery for the United States of America. Y'all can see it's coming apart, man. The Lord is swiftly taking his place down. Now they're talking about giving sanctions to Russia. I'm going to try to throw in that clip. The guy was on Fox and told the United States they're not even worried about sanctions, okay?
On set. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Brett.
How do you characterize the talks right now and how they're going?
I think President Trump administration has made tremendous progress. There was no dialogue with Russia in Biden administration for the last 3 years. There was no trying to understand Russian position. There was no really solutions that could have been successful. And what President Trump team has done, they understood what the solution space may be, and they achieved the first de-escalation ever in the conflict, which is stopping hits on energy infrastructure between Russia and Ukraine. So we are having good discussions. Our diplomatic people are also discussing possible outcomes, but there is no question that President Trump team not only stopped World War III from happening, but also had already achieved sizable progress on Ukraine resolution.
After that resolution, though, of the energy infrastructure, there were attacks by the Russians on the Ukrainians' energy infrastructure.
But so there were, unfortunately, attacks by Ukrainian on lots of Russian infrastructure, which are not too much reported in the press, and that, of course, has to stop. And I think energy infrastructure ceasefire has to hold.
You, Russia, have a lot of sanctions put on your country by the U.S., and that runs the gamut. Importation of Russian oil, energy products into the U.S., sanctions on oil-carrying vessels, other sectors, financial services, aerospace, metals, and mining. In fact, you had to get a waiver on sanctions to travel here to the U.S. Is lifting sanctions part of the condition for the ceasefire that you're talking about?
Well, Russia is not asking for lifting of sanctions, because if you look at our GDP growth, it's actually 4% last year versus just 1% in Europe. If you look at our debt to GDP, it's 18% versus 100% in Europe. So I think what we see is that actually US companies lost around $300 billion of foregone profit from withdrawing from Russia. So I think sanctions may be lifted when US companies want to go back, want to take advantage of business opportunities in Russia. But right now, Russia is not making any preconditions, not asking for specific sanction relief.
He said they're not troubled. I'm chopping that up. But I'll try to post that. Sanctioning Russia won't stop them. Okay? If they go to war with NATO, which they're about to do, America's finished, because America's going to have to get involved. Right? We're going to need you. Well, I had it. Slocky. I lost it. Here we go. I want Malachi, the 4th chapter. Okay. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So doomsday is coming, okay? Doomsday is coming to the United States of America. It's coming. That's some serious words coming from the United States president to Vladimir Putin. There's no proof America's been successful aiding Ukraine. Ukraine has lost 1 million troops. Go to Redacted and other sources out there. They'll tell you it's about 1 million dead. Okay. Russia may have lost up to maybe 100,000 troops. Their numbers are light in comparison. Okay. The BRICS nation is already overthrown the United States of America, at least on the military front. Okay, Iran is backing Russia, North Korea, okay. Venezuela, half the continent of Africa is supporting Russia. So the United States of America is screwed with this notion they're going to go to war. Threaten the Russian president. It's not going to end well. Okay? I'm going to read this again. Malachi 4:1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yet, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Okay? That's what's going to happen. And the only ones getting salvation is the children of Israel. I'm going to get that here. Right? Malachi 3 and verse 5. I'm going to end it with verse 6. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wage. That's really dealing with the poor people, chiefly Israelites, being oppressed by these wicked corporations. Okay? Let's read on. The widow and his fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, said the Lord of hosts. Okay? Check this out. For I am the Most High, I change not. Therefore your sons of Jacob are not consumed. Everybody's not a son of Jacob. Son of Jacob is it's going into the Israelites. It's going into northern and southern kingdom. The sons of Jacob is the 12 tribes of Israel. Not racism, white supremacists, not even the heathen nations. Okay? For you Christians that run in that Galatians 3 and 28, somewhere around there, you guys forget who was scattered among the Gentiles. Spoiler alert. Okay? I believe that's John the 7th chapter. You have to read 30 on down. Who was dispersed among the people? It was the children of Israel. Okay? They were saved from among the people during the time of the ancient Egypt, during that Exodus, and they're going to be delivered out of the hands of racism, white supremacists. Starting with America, the other four corners of the earth. Salvation is coming for the elect 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Okay? With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh, Ba'ashem HaMashiach, Yahushai. Double honors to the mighty men, the elders, and the apostles in the community, waking up the lost sheep of the house of Israel in these last days. Peace and blessings to everyone doing this truth and humbleness, sincerity. Israel, I love y'all. We got next. Shalom, family. Shalom, family. This is your brother Yawsab coming at you with a quick segment. I'm doing a special video on Rumble. Okay, my Rumble is Israel 144X. I'm going to do a special video on Rumble. You can follow me on my Rumble channel. Again, my Rumble channel is, give me a second. It's Israel 144X. Israel 144X. Rumble exclusive. Coming right at you. Shalom.